Hey guys, Charles Vaughn, Liquor CEO here with you today. Interesting topic. I've had a lot of conversations the past couple of weeks, a lot of emails, a lot of comments and such regarding brand names, but really how do we create brand names? I love entrepreneurs, number one. We get a lot of emails, a lot of questions, a lot of phone calls saying, I want to start this, I want to start this. And they have a great idea for a product and they think they have a really cool idea for a brand name. And then we start to dialogue about the brand name and it very quickly falls south. So the packaging is obviously very important. What somebody sees when they first come into contact or come into the presence of something is going to catch their attention. Obviously packaging and the look, the aesthetic is very important. The brand is something a little bit more overarching. Within the concept of a brand, there's a name, there's a look, there's a personification, personality, and image. And what does the brand stand for, basically? So we'll try to touch on each one of those. But how do we kind of get this all into, from a concept to a visual? I really like to encourage everyone to start thinking of doing something called mood boarding. Whereas when you think of your product and you think of a lot of things, the price point, how people drink it, where they drink it, what does it look like? Where are these places? Tell me about these places. Aesthetically, what are their color palettes? Are they in the fashion industry? Are they in the sports, type of vibe? Well, so when you're looking through magazines, online, in print or whatever, and you see pictures that you think your brand would fit well in that environment, cut it out, paste it. Start putting together a collage of just images that you think would be associated with your brand as you see it, as you feel it and vibe it in your mind. As far as brand names, it's okay to start thinking of names, and that's cool. It has to get to a name, but I think there's a little bit of a different process. What I like to encourage people to do is to start throwing on a board just words that describe your brand. Smooth, aggressive, energetic, a luxury, a casual. Just put words that describe your brand. And then what you're going to start doing is when you start to see this, you'll be able to go through iterations and variants of it, and then you'll start to see how natural words turn into names, turn into a hybrid of things, and you can start to kind of get to where you want to be with a name. Again, if you marry this up with the collage of mood boards and images, I think you'll see a really cool associative value between your adjectives, your naming concepts, your aesthetic look concepts, and things will start to come into focus a little more clearly for you that way. It doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it takes 2 to 3, 4, 5 plus rounds. If you really struggle with it, you may want to try to get a naming firm, a branding firm involved in the mix a little sooner rather than later. But even regardless when you get there with a name, I think I've done this before in a previous chapter where we talk about brand names. I'm a big believer in this. It's just my opinion, but I think it's really important that your name is unique. So Google search, whatever you're coming up with, see if there's anything out there in any space, whether it's liquor, whether it's fashion, whether it's cars, electronics, just find something, anything that's out there that's already using your name or something very close to it. Be aware of it. Second thing, make sure the URL is available. It sounds kind of common sense, but if you come up with a name and the URL is not available because somebody else has it, that might be a little bit of a red flag. Take it a step further. Get your social media URLs and your channels locked down if that's the name, once it starts to pass muster. Get these URLs, get these handles, get these names all locked down. Consistency across the board. Twitter, Snap, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you're using, Reddit, whatever you're using, Pinterest, just get them all out there. And your URL organically as well. I've talked about this in a previous segment as well. Your brand name does not necessarily need to be your entity name. It could literally be Charles Holding Company owning Lasin Vodka or Blue Lava Tequila, which are my two brands. So it could be those. It could be something as simple as that. Now, I do have other companies that use the name they're eponymously named for like the marketing management of that particular entity, and that's for just my philosophy of compartmentalizing costs and projects and processes and things like that. But it doesn't, your entity name does not necessarily need to be your brand name as an LLC or incorporated entity. However, your brand name should be trademarked. Go ahead and go back to the other chapter I've put out on this. Get the word mark, get the stylized version mark, get a logo mark, get them all packaged up together and get all these marks. Get your protections in order, start using it. I think once you do that, and getting back to the branding things, once you get your look and your color palette and your vibe and your personification, your little personality figured out, and you can make some headway with your name, then the look starts to really come into play. You can really say, well, that kind of bottle fits in with this environment that we seem to be consistently gravitating towards. Or the label needs to be this. It needs to be decorated, or it can be a paper label or some fabric label, whatever you want. So a lot of things like that come into play. So get your naming organized and really just start to think about it in terms of words that describe your product, pictures that kind of like reinforce what's going on in your mind with your brand. Come up with names, adjectives, and start working towards it. If you have any questions, any additional comments, leave them below. I would always appreciate to hear that. Email me, liquor.ceo@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Check out my website, 40-80spirits.com. More information there, as well as all the videos, in addition to being on YouTube as Liquor CEO. So anyway, smash that thumbs up button. Give me a little notification so you can get ding ding when I put something else out. Hope this video has been helpful for you guys. Catch me on LinkedIn. Sometimes I do some smaller things there. On Twitter, I do some smaller things, tidbits along the way as well. So have a great day. Stay dry. It's raining in Florida today. Sorry, guys, but it's Florida. So have a great day, guys. Thank you.